What is going on, YouTube? It is Flashback here. We're playing some Dirt Track Racing 2 here. This is mostly just an overview video. I'm actually doing this post-commentary here. Mostly just because I kind of want to start doing this for my videos. It seems to be a little more professional. Allows me to stay on topic a little more and actually concentrate on the race so I'm not completely failing, but as it turns out, that doesn't even change anything because I still completely fail, even though I am able to concentrate 100% on the game itself. My wife is looking at me like I am a complete nut job talking into a black thing in front of my face. Now she's squirting lotion all over herself. And now she's surprised that it started coming out. Ever hear that a woman was surprised that it started coming out? Yeah, me neither. So anyway, back to where I was going with this. It's something I kind of want to get in. My wife's got lotion all over her hand. I'm going to use that later. Olay. So as I was saying, I'm going to start doing post commentaries a little more often. I'm going to try and change kind of what my channel is all about. What it's been about is really just been recording as I get a chance and just doing it the lazy route, and I'm going to try and change that. I'm going to mostly, I suppose, what I'm trying to accomplish here is just increase my audience, really expand beyond what I have now, and this game is a game that very much so deserves as much publicity as it can get. It's very much so an old game. I mean, look at it. There's a lot of games out there that don't look even this good. Honestly, this game, you make the textures more HD, like 1024 by 1024, maybe even 2048, and just make the trees better than just meshes, and this game would be beautiful. That's all it would really take. Honestly, I'm sure there's probably a mod out there for it, and if there isn't, there really should be. I'm going to throw something at my wife. I hope you guys don't mind, but I do have a pair of scissors on my desk. Stop looking at me! And she's threatening me with the lotion. So, I've had this idea twirling around my mind, twirling around my mind. I'm straight, ladies and gentlemen, I promise. Twirling around my mind. So anyway, without that bothering me too much, it's not even so much a mind. Yeah, I don't have a mind, but not so much an idea as much as just something I kind of want to start doing to, I don't know, put my own impact on the world. As I've gotten older, I've noticed people are angry. Don't know why, don't know how, everybody has their own reasons, but it seems like as you get older, you just get angry. As a kid, you don't really notice it. Yeah, you see some adults who are just stuck up snobs, but you don't really realize that everybody just seems to be angry. As you start to realize that, you start to look at other people and kind of judge your happiness levels. Take me. I've always been a people watcher. I get it from my dad. As my wife says, one of these days it's gonna get me beat up in the mall. But we were just in the mall yesterday eating some Taco John's. You in the Midwest will know what Taco John's is. Everyone else, I apologize for you not knowing what Taco John's is. It's basically Taco Bell on steroids. But we were there just kind of I was people watching. She was trying to eat. It's what I do. And there were some less than perfect people there. That's what I'll call it. There was a goth couple walking through, like, old school goth. Not this new emo, but old school goth. Looked like they just walked out of old school Hot Topic, but the thing is, they were happy. I couldn't judge them because they were happy. They were smiling, they were holding hands, they were just happy to be together. And that made me happy. I mean, I know it's weird. Goth couple made me happy, who would have guessed? But it did, and then there was this, probably late 20s gentleman with a large family and married into another ethnicity. And he looked like the kind of guy that you wouldn't expect to want a family would expect to see at the gym, like 24/7. But he was really enjoying himself, being out with his family and his cousin. Well, I'm guessing like in-laws. He was just enjoying himself, and it really got me thinking, why can't the world have more of that? The world is angry. And it really just comes down to people aren't willing to look at the bigger picture. They're so focused on what they're doing. People in general are just focused on what they're doing at the moment and what they're trying to accomplish in their lives. They're not willing to take a step back and look at the world as a whole. I very much so was this way a few years ago, and I watched a City Skylines video by Udo. If you don't know him, look him up. I'll put a description down in the I'll put a description in the link. I'll put a link in the description down below if anybody's interested. He's a college student who uploads City Skylines when he gets a chance, and his videos are, well, they're very emotional and very motivating, and actually quite educational as well. But one of them included a quote. Many of you may know it. I'm not going to mention the name because actually it escapes me right now. He has passed away. He was a physicist back in the day with a show on PBS. Basically, I'm going to paraphrase here because I don't remember how the exact quote goes, but humans are fighting to be the leaders of a small fraction of a fraction of the life on Earth. A pale blue dot in our grand universe. Not even a dot. A pale blue blip. That's all it is in the universe. We're just a pale blue blip, and we're fighting to be the top dog instead of fighting to keep this miracle planet alive and keep each other alive. The number one thing I see that we need to improve on is just our kindness towards each other and towards our planet. I'm not saying go full environmental, because trust me, I am not full environmental. I'm very much so a car guy. I eat meat like there's no tomorrow. My diet is protein. That's all there is to it. At the same time, I can appreciate the idea of improving the world, improving our energy production. But that can only happen if we get together on it and we really focus. Like putting micro generation, having a solar and wind plant for every individual town and city. That is just the only way it's going to happen. And honestly, I would be willing to pay an extra 3% tax to my city just to make that happen. And that's all it would take. I mean, it wouldn't even take that much. It would take very little to really get it done. It just seems like people aren't willing to invest in their communities. Which kind of leads me into another point. I know I'm just rambling. This is by no means an organized discussion I'm having right now, but hopefully in the future this will become more of an organized thing, because this is a topic I want to hit more on. A few topics, actually. This is just going to be kind of a generalized thing, but kind of leads me into another point. Going back to the humans thing, the people. I'm getting another weird look. Stop it. Stop looking at me like that. Don't shake your head at me. So, as I was saying, our world today seems to be focusing more on our private lives, our families, and less on our community. And that's all great. It is good to focus on family. That is the number one thing. Family is the number one most important thing in your life. Whether that be blood family or people you've met throughout your lives that you've began to consider family, like best friends. Like I even have a couple of coworkers I consider like almost family. Just because when I'm at work, they're very polite individuals, and we can just bullshit all day. It's what we do. That's pretty much what my job is, actually. It's kind of nice. But our world is losing grasp on the values of the community. I know a lot of you are going to say, no, no, our suburbs are nothing but community. No, that's not true. True community is close-knit. If you've ever been to a suburb, how many neighbors know each other on an intimate level as so much as know their favorite color, know their favorite food? How often do you think they actually talk besides going to get the mail? Not very often, I can guarantee you that. The suburb is built for the car and not for the community. It is very much so a private life form of living, and it's a waste of space. All that space could easily house 50,000 people. Instead, we're fitting maybe 2,000 in it. I'm not saying we need to go skyscraper heavy. People definitely need green space in their lives. Without nature, humans are known to go insane, completely batshit crazy. But we need to start to appreciate, like I said, just community. I don't really know. I'm sure there's a different way to put that. I'm not going to deal with it right now. That's just going to make my brain hurt. Which kind of leads me to another rant I've been wanting to go on, and it really goes more into the actual driving aspect. I don't know, I don't want to touch on that. That's a topic for a whole nother time, is road rage and what it can lead to. But just stop texting and driving and stop looking at other things and start looking for vehicles, whether it be four-wheelers, cars, trucks, SUVs, motorcycles, you name it. You need to keep an eye on them. You are driving a multi-ton boulder traveling at over 65 miles an hour. You hit a brick wall with that, you're taking down the wall. How do you think a person is going to feel that? Here's a hint. They're not going to feel it because they're going to be dead the moment you make impact. That's not good. Really, you need to pay attention when you're driving. And that's a rant for a whole nother time. I'm not going to touch on that here. And actually, that might become a car vlog or something. Honestly, I'm kind of running out of things to talk about here. That's awkward. Oh, well actually, while I'm on it, vaping. This is more of a PSA than anything. Vaping is just fine. I have nothing against it as long as you're doing it for a reason and not just doing it to be cool. I'm fine with it. If you are doing it just to be cool, just be careful. That's all I ask. I understand, like my wife vapes because she used to be a smoker, and this is how she quit smoking finally. Just be careful. Some of the juices do have poisons, such as what common chemical found in what actually makes up coolant or antifreeze. Just so you know, you ingest that, it's not good. You breathe it, it's probably worse. So just keep that in mind anytime you're shopping for juices and whatnot. Do some research on the juice itself, and you should be fine. I mean, I'm not saying don't do it. Just do your research before you do something. Especially with shopping, and do your research before you do anything. You can't get mad. There is no reason to get mad at a company because you didn't do any research on their product first. Products are going to be cheaper because they're made cheaper. Not because it's just a better deal. You get what you pay for unless there's a cheap product ridiculously overpriced. But again, do your research. It takes 5 seconds to Google it and say, oh, hey, this one's like 50-50 on the reviews. I think I'll skip on it. And isn't that just great timing? Well, I guess I'll just finish up here since I'm probably on the last lap anyway. My wife was kind enough to leave the door wide fucking open. Well, I guess I can keep on talking. I guess the biggest reason I'm trying to get into this is there's been a lot of, I don't know, I don't want to call it like buyer's remorse or anything on bigger purchases. Well, I guess that'll be a rant for a whole nother time since this is the last lap, and I actually won. I ended up in like 10th at one point and I actually ended up winning. But anyway, folks, thank you so very much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. Until then, as always, take it easy. Hey, I said stop recording.